tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up a Laravel app in the DigitalOcean new service that is an alternative to cloud servers. It's sort of like a managed server, so you don't have to take care of configuration or keeping it up to date or anything like that. And they also offer managed databases, and I'm going to show you how to set up Laravel application that uses a database from the same service. And the application we're gonna be uploading, currently this is it's running locally, so it's just a very simple application. It's just for this tutorial. So you type a message here, and it just lists adds it to the database, and then in the view it displays it. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is create an account if you don't have one. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to DigitalOcean, so you can create an account. You'll get $100 for 2 months, I think. So with that link, so make sure to use it. And once you log in, you're gonna be in this section. The only thing you have to do is go to apps, and you'll be back to the apps service, and then we're gonna click launch your app, and then it's gonna ask you to link or GitHub account or GitLab account. This is where it's gonna get the code, so make sure to have your code in at GitHub account and at GitHub repo. And I'm gonna link my GitHub. Okay, so once we've had authorized DigitalOcean to access our repositories, we're gonna select it from the list of repositories we get here. So this is the repository I want to upload to the server, so I'm gonna click that one. Then I'm gonna click next. Okay, here we can select the region. Currently I get 3 options: New York, Amsterdam, and I think this is, I don't know what country is this. Is that Germany, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna select New York just because it's the closest to me. Then here we get a list of the branches we have in that repository. I created this staging branch so you can see that we can select a different branch if you want. I'm gonna keep master for now, and then we can select if we want to auto deploy code changes. So that means when we push a change to that branch or merge a pull request, it's gonna be automatically updated. And then we click finish, and wait a second. Okay, we'll need to set some configuration here. The first thing I'm gonna do is gonna set up the database. So I'm gonna select the dev database. When you're here, you can only select the dev database. I don't know why. You can select an existing database that you already have in DigitalOcean, but you cannot create a bigger database. But you can upgrade your database when you finish the setup process. So I'm gonna create the dev database, and this name you have to keep in mind. You have to remember what name you gave it, because we're gonna use it to reference the configuration so our app can connect to it. So I'm gonna leave it DB, and I'm gonna click add database, and then we'll create the connection. So set up the environment variables so the Laravel application can connect to the database. And also we need to select 2 other environment variables. The first is app URL. This is gonna be the same for everyone. It's gonna be app URL, unless you want your app URL to be something else, like for example app or something like that, but normally you will just leave it like that. And then I'm gonna add some more, and then here we're gonna add the app key. And this, we're gonna copy the one we have in our environment file, or this is used for encryption. Laravel uses this key for encryption. I'm gonna paste this one, and then we start with the database connection. So db connection. Okay, so in DigitalOcean, all databases, at least in this server, are Postgres SQL. I don't know if you can change that, but for the moment we're gonna use Postgres SQL. Then connection, and then we're gonna use database URL, and we're gonna reference our DB, our other service DB, and then database URL. Then we're gonna create a couple more. I'm gonna create it, and then you can pause the video and copy them. Okay, so these are all the configuration we have to set up for the database, and our app will be able to connect and insert. We now have to set up a build command. That's gonna be composer install to install our libraries and just the general setup. And then on run command, we wanna set up the migrations, database migrations. So PHP and since we're gonna be in production environment, we're gonna have to set force. Okay, so that's all we have to do in this section of the setup. So I'm gonna click next, and then here we can select the plan and also the size of our server. So I'm gonna select basic for now, but you can see here what each plan offers, and also you can, so if you click this one, it offers you bigger options for your app. So this is for prototypes, it says here. So I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna select this smaller one, and it's gonna cost us $12 a month. So database included, database is gonna be $7 in the container, and the container is gonna be $5. So I'm gonna click launch, and then here it's gonna start deploying our app. Here it is, and we can view the logs here. So here you can see it's building our app, setting the environment variables, and then it's gonna start using, it's running it's installing the JavaScript libraries, and then it's gonna install the composer libraries. So this might take a while, so you just have to be patient. It takes like 10 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes or something like that. So I'm gonna pause. There's go composer. I'm gonna pause the video for now, and I'll come back when it finishes deploying. As you can see, it took 7 minutes, and we now can visit this URL, and it's gonna show our app. Okay, so I'm gonna test to see if the database was created correctly. Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, the migrations were run correctly, so we should have no problem inserting data here, and it works. Yeah, so about how to update your database. So it's a bigger database, not a development database. You can select here, and then upgrade to manage database. So, and then here are the connections. So you can connect from Workbench or another client, SQL client you have, and then here you can also set more environment variables, and you can change other stuff like the course policy. Also, you can access the console. So here, if you forgot to set up the build command, you can also run your migrations from here. It's not gonna run anything. Artisan. And also to set up a new domain, you can set up here. So you just type your domain, and then it's gonna show you some fields. So this you're gonna copy to your domain provider, or you can add this to your CNAME record. So you don't have that DigitalOcean domain, you can have your own domain. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.